Hello, and once again, welcome back to Mike Fixes Concord. This exciting episode, Dollar Store Dax the Destroyer, also known inexplicably as Star Child. We're going to focus in on the key features that make this character somewhat unique. The face mask, the feathers, not sure why he has feathers, but that's part of his character, and the weight belt looking midsection. So we're going to try to maintain those features and turn this into something a little more unique than Dollar Store Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy. This is clearly stolen from. Before we jump into that, allow me 30 seconds to introduce myself. My name is Mike S. Miller, 32-year professional comic book creator, video game concept artist, writer, blah, blah, blah. I'm the creator of multiple intellectual properties including Imaginaries, Deal with the Devil, Six Gun Samurai, and Lone Star. Available to pre-order at LoneStarComic.com, link in the description below. Our vision here at Blacklist Universe is ultimately to create a multimedia venture to bring quality and ethics back to storytelling. We're tired of the DEI woke agenda ruining every book, comic, game, movie, and TV show, and we're bound and determined to do something about it. If that sounds good to you, then join us by subscribing and maybe even supporting us as a channel member. No one can fight the culture war alone. We're here to fight and to make a difference, and we hope you are too. And one more thing, I do a weekly live stream at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time called Drawn and Quartered, where me and a group of my other professional artist friends get together and draw and chat and have a good time, and we would love for you to join us. Now back to the video. So obviously I'm going to stick to the same basic body type because the body type on this character is, it's your basic tank, your Hulk, your Drax. I was saying Dax, wasn't I? No, it's Drax the Destroyer. But yeah, that's a fun body type to draw. You want your big hulking characters, and so I'm just gonna do my own anatomy on this one real quick, so I can maintain that same basic shape with the sort of microcephalic head and all that fun stuff. Keep the same grim face and change up the mask a little bit. So it's not just this bald capping mask, but I wanted to emphasize the feathers. And so I'm like, well, if he has feathers on his arms and his chest and whatever, why can't he have it on his head and his shoulders and make it look sort of, first of all, give it a really cool, unique silhouette, which is what we're always aiming for. But also, I don't know, man, it's like the feathers on the original just seem so ad hoc and like, this character has to have feathers. So they just plop some feathers on him in really, it's like, where would you have feathers if you had hair? And it's like, that's not really the thing. If you're going to have feathers, you could have feathers in a way that makes them look cool, right? And I don't know if I achieved that. I kind of like the headdress look, but that's actually his feathers. I could see where someone might, not like it. And as that kind of design went along the way, I was like, you know what, let's make this more kind of classic Thor, Jack Kirby design. I maintained the weight belt, but I turned it into this sort of a shield, sort of like a, what do you call it? Like an idol, not an idol. I don't want to say idol, but anyways, I try to maintain the structure of the original design, but give that mask some flair and some style that kind of goes along with the spikiness of the feathers that I kind of, brought into it. If you're going to have feathers where you have hair, why not have feathers where you have a beard? Or you have a, pork chops, right? Pork chop, sideburns, whatnot. And then I just sort of draped them down. I gave him sort of not a long hair, but, so that when he's in action, his feathers can act as hair and kind of give him more motion and interest and kind of just make it look more fun when he's moving around in action. I don't think it's going to be too much pressure on the 3D engine to render feathers these days. And the shoulder feathers, I thought, what it started, I was thinking of was Ryuk from Death Note, how he has the, the cool shoulder feather look, and it's like out there, and I'm like, that'd be kind of a cool thing to add to this sort of death dealing bloke who's a tank. But yeah, other than that, I think I can't remember if I even looked up what this guy's powers were. Besides, oh, I did. Yeah, so he's got the short shotgun. Sorry, I have to go in here. I'm sorry. My brain's all over. I recorded this video 2 days ago, and then I had to take the weekend off, and now I'm back here, and I'm trying to remember all of the reasons I was doing all of this stuff, and it's a little bit more difficult than per usual. So bear with me, if you will. I'm not this scatterbrained in all of my videos. So again, I did sort of an alien lion face to kind of go with his feathery mane and kind of just, pull a motif together. And I hope it looks like that. I didn't want to do like a literal lion face because I didn't want, he's an alien. They don't have lions where he comes from. Obviously, he's from a planet where they grow feathers as mammalian whatever creatures they are. I don't know, but it doesn't have to make sense. Does it? Does it really have to make sense? I mean, it has to make sense in the context of whatever the design is they gave me. But as he is, I didn't draw the shotgun, but as he is a shotgun wielder, I was like, you know what? If he's a shotgun wielder, he's got to have lots of ammo. So I took his weight belt and I added shotgun shells, and then I gave him leg straps with shotgun shells because shotguns go through a lot of ammunition, and I didn't want to give him a bandolier. I could have given him a bandolier, but I don't know. For some reason, he's got one in the original design, I know. But I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want to give him a bandolier, and so, well, there it is. And then once again, like I said, I gave him sort of the, I don't want to say Thor, but like the Midgard, sort of the old school Jack Kirby, Walt Simonson sort of design on the lore. And because otherwise he's just wearing the pants and the boots. He is so much dollar store Drax that it's hard to get away from without doing a complete redesign. So I'm trying to give him some unique and interesting function in his lower half, because his upper half is literally, I mean, anyone who looks at it, it's like, oh, he's blue and with red like stuff on him, and he's the tank character, and I mean, he's Drax with a red mask on. At that point, what are you trying to hide? It's such a blatant ripoff that I had to deviate significantly on this one. But once again, trying to maintain enough of the original character elements to make him recognizable as, oh, this could be a skin of this character. Like, if you were playing, it's like, your skins don't have to just be a change of color or a change of pants. They can be significantly different. Look at Overwatch, right? You look at Overwatch, and some of the skins from one skin to the other, they might as well be a completely different character, honestly, except they have the same skills and the same basic utility-based items on them, right? I think of the Aztec Phoenix character. Oh, what was her name? The healer. Is it the healer or the flyer? Is it the healer? I'm forgetting. I drew all of these characters way back when Overwatch was hot, and it was like great doing these different skins because they were so unique and different. Anyways, back to this. I wanted to give him them big old clod hopping boots. He's a big, heavy guy. He needs big, heavy, powerful boots. And once again, here are the straps for the shotgun shells. Hopefully he won't run out of shells, running around this map and reloading and whatnot. But I just, man, if you're gonna give a character a shotgun, you gotta give him the ammunition to use a shotgun. And he's the short range guy. And one more thing, the feathers, I know I can't illustrate this in the thing, but one of his power sets is that when he's charging, he has a diamond skin, right? So he turns like diamondish, whatever. How much cooler is it going to look if his feather, everything becomes like diamond, right? And you've got these diamond glistening feathers, like as you're charging down this way. You could, I don't know, I think visually, if I was like not the game designer but the animator, I mean, you could make it look so cool with like the feathers and everything. So take the feathers with a grain of salt. You may not, I'm like shooting myself down here. You may not like the feathers the way I've done them, but the feathers are integral to the character for some bizarre reason, and so I needed to do something unique, and let's just say, more interesting with them. And I hope that I accomplished that goal. Let me know in the comment section below if you think I have or have not. You can't win them all. All right, there's that silhouette, and bam, it does really stand out. Now this character is unique in terms of silhouette. I know I didn't do any make him asymmetrical the way you generally want to do with a player character. And I know the bandolier would have, that was like the quick, easy cheat to make him asymmetrical, is just give him a bandolier. But I don't know. It wasn't working for me. And so I did maintain a fairly symmetrical look with this character, but I still think he's going to stand out uniquely in this roster or in the crowd that you're playing, just by the sheer fact of how unique all of his individual elements do work. So yes, asymmetry is a good cheat for making a character unique, but it's not necessary, in my opinion. If you disagree with me, let me know. Again, I'm just a comic book artist with 32 years of experience. That doesn't mean I'm the world's greatest character designer for video games, although I have done a few video games. I've done Deus Ex. I did CG World. Yeah, Deus Ex. Do you guys remember Deus Ex? I was the original character designer for that video game, which was a groundbreaking video game. But anyways, me and my friend Neil Am were the concept artists for that. Actually, you know what? I had another friend, Jim Daly. He was on there first. Actually, he was the first, but I don't think we used any of his designs. Maybe one or two. Anywho, back to the coloring. Once again, we're doing the tint, tone, hue coloring style, where it's very simple. It's 3 tones and it just creates the form and the shape with the color tone variation. Very simple animation style, just to get the point across, so I'm not just leaving a flat color scheme here, and it does give you a little bit more of a feel for how this character might actually feel if it was fully rendered in 3D. But I'm not going to sit here and take 10 hours to do a thing. I do have a job, you know. And by the way, if you do like my artwork and you want to check out some of my comic books, please do click in the link for my Lone Star comic and go check that out. I've even got a cover by Kim Jung-gi on this latest edition, and the book should ship somewhere around the end of the year. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm planning on at any rate. Here I drop in some nice shiny white to make it look metallic where it needs to look metallic and hard. I mean, obviously his skin is not diamond right now, but when it does diamond up, he'd be all shiny, because the shiny indicates the hardness of and his face mask. For some reason, his face mask has to feel hard. I didn't do it with his feathers because I just wanted them to sort of feel like they could flow around when he's running around. Even though feathers are generally shiny, that was a conscious choice I did not do. Now here I am with my color selections. I wanted to stick with the red mask and the blue skin just to try to maintain the motif, even though, yes, that's Drax coloring. I mean, could they have gotten any more obvious? That they just wanted to avoid the green because he's the shape of the Hulk? I mean, it's literally Drax coloring for a character that looks like an obvious ripoff of Drax. These guys have no imagination. Zero sense of imagination at this studio. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So I'm giving the shotgun shells traditional shotgun shell coloring, which is fine because it brings the red of the mask down to his thighs anyways. So that was a nice little bonus. I wanted to knock down the coloring on the thigh and the pants and the boots, because we have so many primary colors on here already. If I started trying to add other colors, it would really get distracting. So I used another blue. It was a little bit of a purplish blue here, but just a darker tone for the feathers to sort of indicate that, I mean, on the original, the feathers are the same color as the skin. It doesn't make any sense. Have you ever seen a creature with feathers where the feathers are the same color as the skin? This is my first attempt at throwing in some color on the skin, because the skin is such a large, blank, same color scheme that I can see why they threw all the tattoos on Drax, right? You don't want just blue Hulk. And I can see... So what I decided instead is I grabbed an old tattoo scheme I did from an NFT collection, which is sort of a tribal tattoo mixed with some cheetah spots. And the first thing I did was I went to the Drax colors, and then I'm like, it's too Drax. It's too Drax. I can't just Drax this thing. So I went with a lighter tone of hue, and then I just went straight white. And I like, you know what? That does not look bad. And it makes the other feathers look more like just black, right? Actually, I think that's what I did, was I knocked out the color completely with black. And there we go with the side-by-side. Let me know which one's better. You may not like what I did. I think what I did is at least more interesting. You can tell this is not my favorite redesign. I have to admit, this was a very difficult one for me, because the initial design, it's not the worst design in Concord. But to me, it is just dollar store Drax. So, anyways, here's going through a few different skin and color tone variations. Let me know which your favorite is in the comment section below. Or if you think this was a complete failure on my part, I don't know, let me know. You can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. You can't win them all, but I hope you at least like it better than the original. Again, do like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. And I'll get working on the next one. Oh, let me know which character you want me to do next, because I have a day of work ahead of me, and so I'll have to film the next one tomorrow, so I'll have time to read through your comments, whatever the chat wants to see. Thanks, everybody, for being here. God bless you all. We'll see you on the next video.